Hey you guys, it's Watcher Ralph, and I'm here with my brother Mario, the official El Tigre himself, and we're here to review Black Panther, the spoiler review. So, we're about to jump in. As you see, if you've seen my spoiler-free review, I said I was going to get into all the tidbits, all the things I didn't want to bring up to you before because I didn't want to ruin it for you. But one thing is like I said, this movie is basically perfection. So you're not going to hear a lot of complaints. You're going to just hear a lot of the reasons why we love the movie overall. Now, if you saw the spoiler-free review, you noticed that I said that there was someone to me that stole the show. And it's true. This one person was Letitia Wright, who played Black Panther's little sister, Shuri. Now, I was actually surprised of how funny she was. I don't know about you, but to me, she stole the show. She basically made the movie and took it to the next level and added that comedic element.
Yeah, man. Like I was like, going in, I was thinking like, yo, this reminds me a little bit of Coming to America. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, gotcha.
And all that. But then, yo, the comedy was on point, like you know what I'm saying? She brought that feel, like, you know what I mean? That back in the day, like that happy comedy.
And someone like Winston Duke, who also to me even brought a different comedic side that I wasn't expecting when he played a great character representing the gorilla tribe, and to me he stole the show. I really liked him in Persons of Interest as well.
Yeah.
But to me it's like with both of them bringing the comedy, to me this movie was honestly one of the funniest movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Definitely. And it was more about timing than you know what I'm saying, the comedy itself. It was just like they knew how to deliver it on point every time.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when Martin Freeman comes up to him and is like, exactly. Don't speak, white people. Nah, we don't eat y'all. Like we vegetarians. You know what I'm saying? Like just that whole thing. Like,
and he's like, "Are you done? Are you done?
Like, are you done?"
You get no emotion over there. Yeah, the villains. I mean, they were the strongest villains basically in the whole MCU. And like I said in the spoiler free, it was the villains, because to me, both characters, even though we didn't get to see as much of Andy Serkis as I liked, to me, you know, they both brought it. They both added so much to the story. And when one wasn't on screen, the other one was basically, you know, holding it down until the other one showed up. So to me, it was incredible.
Yeah, Andy Serkis's energy was insane, off the charts. And then, you know, like the whole Michael B. Jordan's character, his like the whole thing, like Killmonger, and the whole thing was that you don't know whose side to be on. Like if you from here, like, and you know what I'm saying, like you leaning on Michael, like B. Jordan's Killmonger's, like his ideology a little bit, like you know what I'm saying. I feel you. Look at all these guns that we have over here, and we fit. You know what I'm saying. We getting oppressed everywhere else. We could just rise up and take over. You know what I mean? Like, you know, he was taking it to a next level, but still, you know, it had like value to it. It had like something, you know what I'm saying, like you were like split.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's why even at the end, obviously Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther, realizes that Killmonger was actually right, that they should help. They shouldn't stay fortified to themselves. They should span out and actually try to help the rest of the world. And obviously that's what we see at the very end. So even though, you know, he clearly understood that ideology by the end as well, you know what I'm saying?
But I think he, I mean, him as I think he always the Prince, you know.
Chadwick Boseman?
Yeah, I mean in a way, because his girl kind of, what's her name?
Got you. But if you watched Civil War, that's the whole point. The scene where he's dealing with his father before his father dies, he's actually upset that they're having this announcement and that the father is finally willing to at least have a conversation. So, and
I forgot about that. But I mean, this one.
I mean, clearly, maybe by the end, because of the end of Civil War, what he learns and how to, you know, be more humble and not to show that much anger towards the other side, towards your enemy, you could say. So I guess he did learn that lesson, and that's why he's willing to at least open up in this movie. But to me, it's like even cool where, I mean, that's one thing, like I was saying, with Andy Serkis, even though he was a cool villain, obviously he dies a lot earlier than I would have hoped. I didn't mind because it was a big part of the twist. You know what I'm saying? A twist that I already had seen coming, but I acknowledge that this movie was trying to present it as a twist, and I imagine a lot of people didn't see it coming. That the fact that Killmonger was, you know, an actual person from Wakanda, and that at the end of the day he's not this rich American, hothead that's just in it for the money as much as Andy Serkis. So I like that fact that they threw that in, even though, again, we could say it wasn't the biggest twist, but I didn't mind that moment that it was setting it up for that. And then to me, it's like there's certain things that they changed from the comic books that I don't know if you guys know, including Michael B. Jordan's character, where that in the comic book, he's not, Chadwick Boseman's cousin. He's not Black Panther's cousin at all. Okay. So they try to keep that melodrama, and that to me, it worked. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had no problem with them making that change, as much as trying to, again, bring that melodrama that's good, especially for any POCs that watch novellas and we watch all type of things. And the fact that they made Angela Bassett and his sister his actual mother and his actual sister, at least that's what it seemed by the end of the movie. Maybe they'll address that in the next one, but from this standpoint, it looked like, they're really family. So that, to me, that was cool. It added that layer of, again, making it more personal. And to me, that was really cool about that.
Yeah, and it's funny, like, Letitia, she had, like, her own, like, little layer, a little, you know what I'm saying, like, Bond type spot. Yes. Like, yo, here you go. And it's like, and just like Wakanda as a whole, man, it was just amazing seeing the city like in the middle of Africa, and it's like thriving. And you know what I'm saying, they have the little hologram thing that looks like trees, and then when you go in, woo! And even the top layer, it looks kind of like, it reminds me of like Egypt a little bit, like when you know what I mean, like the roads is like, everybody trading and stuff, and like little carts and stuff. But nah, man, on the ground, this city is thriving. You know what I'm saying? It's beautiful. It's like it's like another world thing. And then you know what I mean? Like, even this is to bring it up to later on, but like even like the first credit scene, like when they're in the UN and like that smirk, like
of course.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you have to offer the world? What? We offering everything. Like, we got, like, yo, it's just amazing, man. Just goosebumps, bro. Like, it makes me, look at my eyes, they're tearing right now. That movie is just amazing, man. Wakanda Forever. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, so then, to me, it's so true, with the spy thing, I didn't want to really talk about that in the spoiler-free review, but to me, what I love is that this movie also focused on almost every genre. It had the war movie at the end. It had the whole, like, James Bond, like you said, spy type of little vibe when they went to I think it was South Korea.
Yeah, South Korea.
Yeah, when they went to South Korea, to me, it basically focused, it balanced every type of thing you would want in a movie and put it all in one. You know what I'm saying? And it was so cool that it had everything we could have desired. To me, like I say, it's almost basically perfection, so I can't really say anything on that level. One thing I'll address, just like I said I wanted to bring up, is that I've heard a few complaints, and one of the complaints I've heard that personally I respectfully disagree with, the fact that they talk about that Michael B. Jordan is an incredible villain when he's on screen, basically implying that he's not in the movie as much as people would have hoped, because after that first scene he does disappear for a bit before he comes back around, and most people actually saw it as, like I said, it balanced it out because they kept having Andy Serkis at least presenting himself over and over again, so you don't have to be thinking about Michael B. Jordan. But I've heard this complaint that he disappears for a while, and to me, I'm like, Black Panther disappears for a while in his own movie. It's called Black Panther, and there's a time where you think he's dead, and yet when it comes to duration of time, it felt like it was the exact same amount of time that that Michael B. Jordan's off screen as well. So that's why I felt like that's a complaint that I don't agree with.
I mean, maybe it's more of a, like, they want more of him.
Of course.
But I mean, you can't complain because, like you said, it was balanced, man. Like, you have the crazy dude in Andy Serkis when he comes in and he's like, as Claw or whatever, and he's just wilding out. And then you have Michael B. Jordan come in with, like, his rationale, like street, you know what I'm saying, American thing. And it's like, you can't have him on screen throughout the whole movie. Yeah. You know,
to be honest, they were on screen more than most Marvel villains anyway.
So. Yeah, exactly. And it was like, and he was, his storyline was from the beginning to the end, because you know what I'm saying, you see him as a kid in the beginning of the movie, right? Even before you even see.
Yeah, exactly. Because since it's really starting out when obviously Black Panther kills his own brother, which was actually played by Sterling K. Brown, which he came out of nowhere. A great actor from This Is Us and The People vs. O.J. Simpson, and to me he came out of nowhere and I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then he played such a crucial character, which to me that was one cool thing that I didn't acknowledge, that the little boy, which you should acknowledge, that the fact that they're showing these little kids play ball, that could be Michael B. Jordan. I mean, once they established the fact that they left a kid behind, and I already knew who that kid was within the story. But in that moment, I didn't acknowledge it. So I actually thought it was incredible storytelling.
Like I said earlier, like I have no complaints. The twist thing, like I knew it kind of from even just when I came into the movie and was watching. I kind of like I thought that even before. Even watching the movie, I thought that was kind of like how the story was gonna end. So I didn't, you know what I mean? I didn't mind it. And like, I understand people's complaints maybe because they want to see more of Michael B. Jordan because he was an amazing, you know what I mean? So it's like one of those villains that you could, you have compassion for, you know what I mean? You feel his plight, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like this dude, you saw his pops get killed by a Black Panther, and his pops was telling him stories about this beautiful place, and that he's gonna go and all this stuff, and then all of a sudden he sees.
And then talking about that, even the ending, which it was beautiful. I did like how one sad thing, which, again, just like you say, I want more of Michael B. Jordan. Unfortunately, he dies at the end, but his death to me was one of the strongest scenes in the movie as well. That moment with him and Chadwick Boseman taking him out to see, basically, the sun rise in Wakanda, just like how his father promised him. So to me, it was like a really cool moment, and the fact that in that same way where he's more like a rebel, where even at the end he's like, nah, I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees and be just a prisoner within your prison system. So it was incredible.
Yeah, it was amazing, and like that was what, like, to me, this movie completely, it ended. Even his death was like an honorable death. It was just like everybody's like arc throughout the story or whatever ended like in a good, like, in a high. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? In a high. Even when Michael B. Jordan died, like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Dies.
He's kind of like
on his
an
own
honorable
terms.
Yeah. Zamunda.
Wakanda.
Wakanda, yeah, not Zamunda, but Wakanda. But yo, it was like, it's an amazing movie, man. Coming to America. Yes. Basically, at the end of the day.
It was Staying in Wakanda. Yeah. That's what it was. It was the sequel called Staying in Wakanda.
Yeah.
Because he actually never. Well, he comes to America. Comes at the very end to Oakland to basically showing that the ending is coming to America. Yeah. The whole movie is Staying in Wakanda, basically.
And then and then he goes to UN too. So that's like.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Oh, you know what's funny though?
One of the top Marvel movies for sure.
It's the Zamunda. Like, the funny thing is that Killmonger's pops.
Yeah.
And his boy in the beginning that is really they remind me of like Eddie Murphy and like the thug version of Arsenio Hall and Eddie Murphy. Like, if they were thugs, like at the end of the day, that would be them, because even his face, like his boy's face, like he had like this. Face.
True.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo. But that was so funny though, like in the cut, like how he was like, yes, I know the prince.
Exactly.
I was with the king all along. Like,
yeah, I like how they worked that out though. That was a cool little twist, and especially since Forrest Whitaker played such a pivotal role, and even that moment of his death, you kind of expect him to possibly die, but the way they even handled it to me was really well done. Especially that this movie knew how to build where. They had the scene where Killmonger, Michael B. Jordan, just shows up and just destroys, basically takes Black Panther out like nothing, kills Forrest Whitaker, and from that point on we have to, see, him coming back from the dead, basically. And to me, they did a great job of building and building and building until that climactic third act, where it was basically just a straight up and down war scene that it almost looked reminiscent of what they're doing in Infinity War. You know what I'm saying? In Wakanda. So Wakanda has gone through a lot. It seems like it's going to go through a lot within a few years. So that's crazy.
Definitely. And like the cool thing about Wakanda is like with this story, because Wakanda's been hidden for such a long time in plain sight, and so they could do like they could have done whatever they wanted to about with Wakanda, like, you know what I'm saying, because nobody else is looking in, and that's a cool thing that they, you know what I mean, they could take a world.
Even saying that is really cool that you just made me realize the parallel to this and Iron Man, and this one was evident with the ending, because that scene where they're like the media is like, what can you offer? This is basically that moment of Iron Man 1 when he goes, I am Iron Man. We just didn't get to see him say, I am Black Panther. I am gonna present all this technology,
like, my
all these things.
lit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you don't even know.
Yeah,
Country's next level. You know what I'm saying? There's no country like it. It's like a space country. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're on top of the vibranium. It's cool too. All the opening scenes. You know what I'm saying? Where whatever they're telling the story, like showing
the
tribes.
history, yes,
like
the meteorite falling in, which is all straight from the comic books. It's incredible how they handle the whole vibranium thing, and even the El Dorado idea that Andy Serkis's Claw brought up, which to me was really cool, about saying that it wasn't about gold, it was vibranium. It was incredible.
And which is like I said it in the podcast, like that's one of the story arcs that I like the most is Black Panthers, like at least in Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and in the comic books, like how he, like how he comes into like the Avengers whole, like he ties in with like the Wakanda and the vibranium and all that stuff, and it was dope, man. And like it's cool too, like you don't see how evident like the 5 tribes that much until like you don't realize that there are 4 tribes, right? It's 4 plus the gorilla
plus the
tribe
gorillas,
that's
they explained that in the beginning.
Yeah. Oh, they did. Yes. But like throughout it you kind of forget that there's 2, that there's the women warriors, and then the guy from Get Out, then you have the other guys with the thing in the mouth.
Yes,
that was another tribe, like the merchant tribes, and you have, and it's cool how they just bring it out when Michael B. Jordan is there in the mix, and it's just beautiful seeing this world come together. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's just amazing. Like that was just crazy, man. Like I said, man, it's like the only other superhero besides El Tigre.
Tigre. And then Martin Freeman continues from Civil War. And in Civil War, he was more of a jerk anyway, so it's cool that he was a lot more likable here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it's funny that he always plays like a dick when he's American. When he's American, he's a dick. Simon Pegg, man. But like in British, like in
Simon Pegg, Martin Freeman.
Martin Freeman, why?
Because that's the whole thing. He's actually, the funny thing you say that is because he's done a lot of movies. Even Shaun of the Dead. It's literally, Simon Pegg walking through and them seeing their carbon copies, and who's his carbon copy? Of course, Martin Freeman. So that's a given. I'm just, you just done it a couple of times.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's perfect. Because like another thing I was gonna say, Bucky shows up, and you get to see who the other white boy is that they put back together and fixed. Remember her? She's like, now
exactly.
I
like that little reference.
Yeah, I get to fix another white boy together, and then you see that as Bucky.
And to me, I was like, this is that moment that is like straight out of Last Samurai, because to me, the way he looks, and it's like this broken soldier, the Winter Soldier, basically being fixed and coming out, and you can see how enlightened and how humble he is now in the robe. So yeah, this movie is basically perfect, and as you know, that's why I gave this movie a star.
Yo, and you know what? I'ma give this movie a
star. So now you know our thoughts on the movie, but I want to hear yours. So leave your comments down below. Tell me where you place it in the MCU. But for now, share, like, and subscribe. And you can check out the podcast and some more of my other reviews right over here. So I want to thank my brother right here, Mario, for joining me on this. And you know what? We'll see you again.
See you guys. Wakanda forever.